One time, yeah. Three times, four times. Doing gang things, living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my folk that done came up. Four times cause the man can't control us. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my folk that done came up. Four times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side, hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy. Could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had goal. Brand new you on the old time road. Take care of home where you bust your low. Black men don't teach, screaming bump the hoe. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my folk that done came up. Four times cause the man can't control up. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my folk that done came up. Four times cause the man can't control up. One time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had a slow start screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing, I'ma say these bands won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that man? This real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you peep these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my folk that done came up. Four times cause the man can't control up. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my folk that done came up. Four times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah. Doing cane things. Living super clean. That they came up.
One time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that pop. I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of men the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. Beers help me, shout it, let the silly go.
One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my folk that done came up. Four times cause the man can't control up. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my folk that done came up. Four times cause the man can't control up.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. Good evening. morning, good night, happy Thursday evening to you all. I hope all is well with you all, wherever you are and whatever you are doing. I'm going to give everybody a few more minutes to get on here while I get my TikTok up and running. Even though I don't have a telephone stand.
One time.
I'm sorry, I don't have another song loaded to play for y'all.
3 times.
Okay.
4 times. Doing gang things, living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side, hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy. Could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had gold. Brand new you on the old time road. Take care of home where you bust your low. Black men don't cheat, screaming bond the hoe. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men. All
right, y'all. I wasn't able to get the phone thing going, but it is all good. Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord. Saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. How are y'all doing this evening? I hope everyone is doing well. We do have a lot of things to talk about tonight. There's a lot been going on around Atlanta, Georgia specifically. First and foremost, thoughts and prayers to the victims of the Appalachian High School incident that occurred here in Winder, Barrow County, I believe it is. I mean, you know, I don't, my heart goes out to everyone involved, the survivors, as well as the families of those who didn't survive. So we definitely want to send our deepest prayers and our deepest condolences to them and their families. And let me just say this, because there's been a lot of talk going on. Of course, this is an election year. Yes, I regardless of what, people still lost their families. Children's lives have been interrupted. These were high schoolers. The perpetrator was only 14, as well as the victims were both, well, 2 of the victims were both 14-year-olds. So I'm not here to politicize it. At the end of the day, it happened. Okay. So thoughts and prayers to everyone who's dealing with that. Okay. And then R.I.P. Rich Homie Quan. Like, you know, I'm not gonna say I don't care about what goes on with celebrities, you know, but you know how you like listen to a person's music and you jam out to their music, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, kind of felt that. So, was everything okay? Oh, okay. So prayers and condolences to the family and friends of Rich Homie Quan as well. And you know, to y'all, like it is a crazy time out here. I know, you know, things are going wild. So hug your families, hug your kids. Just try to be extra nice to everybody. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what anyone is going through. Now the preliminary reports, it hasn't been confirmed, but the preliminary, why I can't say that word. Preliminary reports are that rich homie Quan suffered from a overdose. Hope that's not true. Regardless if it's true or not, though, like that's an issue that needs to be discussed frequently in our community. Thank you so much, honey. Thank you. You're so wonderful. That's it. That's the issue that needs to be discussed. You understand what I'm saying, sir? I'm trying to do a show here. We we always I'm so far away. Oh, but if it looked good to you on there, then okay. What was I saying? Oh yes, check on your friend's mental health. Boy, girl, male, female, check on your friend's mental health. You never know what anyone is going through, and for some reason, whenever people hear OD, they just want to write it off as an addiction problem and keep moving. But the addiction came from somewhere. Like, nobody wakes up one day and just is like, you know what, I think I'm gonna be a drug addict today. Like, yeah, I think that's the way I'm gonna go. Just, go ahead and be a drug addict, put myself in them horrible situations. Let's just do that. I don't think anyone does that. So, check on your friends, check on their mental health, check on yourself. Don't take it for granted. Like, just don't take things for granted. Check on yourself. Make sure you're okay. Self-care and all that is very, very important. So, take care of yourself, take care of those around you, everything. Okay, so our main topic for this evening is sex, lies, and videotape. And, I have not heard this title on anything new in a while, right? So it might seem kind of old. Like, what you mean sex, lies, and videotape? Where is this coming from? So usually, like in the 90s, when they would put out something with sex, lies, and videotape, that's basically what it is. Some sex, some lies, and somebody's on tape. Okay, so we're just going to talk about a few things, get into the main topic, and flow like that. Thank y'all for staying with me. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. Okay. All right. So, all right. I have a few side stories, right? But these are all hypothetical alleged situations. I am not using anyone's real name in these stories. Okay. You might recognize the situation, but because of the fact that, some of these things are alleged. Some of these things have not been finalized in court. Some of these things are still caught up in the criminal justice system. Everything is alleged and hypothetical. Okay, I just want to clear that up. Like I said, I'm not using anyone's real name. Okay. Can we talk about being victimized in relationships? Can we talk about that? Because there's quite a few things that have went on lately, and it's just really heartbreaking. So our first side story is about an athlete who made it to the Olympics, made it to the 2024 Olympics. I'm not sure if she medaled, but she was from an African country, and apparently her parents or herself had acquired some land for her. Like she had extra land somewhere besides where she was living. And the person that she was dating, the man that she was dating, decided that he wanted the land to be his. He felt like he should be entitled to it. The land should be his as well. Well, of course, she's not going through that. They're not married. That's just a boyfriend. Why would I give you my land? Well, he winds up pouring gasoline on her and setting her on fire. Okay, burned up to 75% of her body. And she hung in there for a few days. Unfortunately, she has passed from her injuries. And the dodo burnt himself too. So now he's laying up in the hospital. So, when he wakes up, he's going to have a lot to deal with. But I was talking to, I don't remember who I was talking to or what led to this conversation, But ladies, y'all have to be careful out here. It's it, when a man is not at least as successful as you, it's going to cause a problem in the ego of most typical males. And I just want to say most typical, because I don't want anybody to say I'm generalizing, not all men are like that. Okay. In my experience, and by my personal one-on-one experience and eyewitness accounts, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that I've witnessed throughout my life. If the man is not at least as successful as the woman, the ego comes into play, the insecurity comes into play, the I don't know, like ego and insecurity, that's what we're gonna call it. Okay. It comes into play and it becomes a factor in the relationship. And now every part of the relationship is tainted with that. Because in his mind, he has to prove to you that he's the man. He can't have you feeling bigger than him. King 7, shalom and shalom. He can't have you feeling bigger than him. And that's that's a personal thing he's going through in his head, right? He feels threatened. He feels like he's not good enough. And instead of just dismissing himself from the situation and saying, you know what, I know I'm not good enough for this woman. Clean that up a little bit. No, nobody's saying here, honey, nobody's saying anything about us. I said in my past. What was I saying? Yeah, so now this becomes a factor in every aspect of your relationship, because at every turn, he's going to feel like you're trying him. He's going to feel like you're trying to make him feel small. Like anything you say is going to trigger him. It's going to set him off. Every time you have a disagreement, it's going to be like, oh, you trying me? You're challenging my manhood. You don't respect me as a man. Da 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 da. Who wants that? Who wants to deal with that? There's another reason why they always say, don't date a man that's jealous of you, because that is going to affect every aspect of your relationship. And for some reason, it's like we don't, you know what I'm saying, understand that we don't understand that that's a possibility. For some reason, I don't know if we're just hopeless romantics or we're just so, wanting to be loved, that we just accept behavior, red flag behavior, mind you, because you're going to pick up on this. They're going to make little smart comments. It's always going to be something that makes you feel uneasy, that makes you feel like this is not quite right. It's always going to be something. And so you have to be strong enough to say, you know what? This is not really what I'm here for. Okay. Let's look at another incident. Okay. Let's Jane Doe. We'll call it Jane Doe. Okay. Jane Doe marries an NBA player. All right. And that, she's coming straight out of high school or whatever, or college, marries this NBA player. They stay together for a little minute. Eventually they end up getting divorced. And in this age of social media and reality TV, this is all playing out on television. So everybody sees this. Okay. So Jane Doe and her NBA player break up. It's a horrible breakup, like horrible breakup. Okay. They break up or whatever. She starts dating someone else not too long after that. Right. And so this guy scams her out of, I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars he scammed her out of. And he also stole her car. Like, she had to call and file a police report because this guy stole her car allegedly, right? Come to find out, she let him borrow the car, but then they broke up. So that's when she reported it stolen. Okay. But he took her money, took her dog, took her car, like just totally scammed her. Okay, so she goes through that. They go to court, and she comes out of that, and she's like, "No, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna heal. I'm not gonna keep falling for the same things over and over again." And you are hopeful for Jane Doe. You like, yes, girl. Okay, we all make mistakes, but go on and get your life together, right? Okay, so a few months later, Jane Doe pops up with a new man. And you like, okay, girl, you got you a new man, right? Because everybody puts forth their representative at first. Even if you are the friend meeting the potential partner or whatever, you are putting forth your representative first. He is putting forth his representative first. I would think even more so with your family and friends, right? Okay. Your family and friends meet him, and everyone's telling you he's a scammer. Everyone's telling you something don't sound right about this. Whenever you ask him what he does for a living, he never can give you a straight answer. It's always, I own a couple of businesses, or I'm in investing, I'm in trading, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but in the midst of him claiming to have all this money from all this investing and trading, he tells Jane Doe that he wants to get a job as a bartender. He's like, no, I really, think I need to get a job as a bartender. Now, sir, you have spent millions of dollars. They have traveled to Paris. They're planning a wedding in Paris, in fact, okay? The price of the wedding is $250,000, which also happens to be the amount that he claims that he has to pay back for restitution. Restitution. We all know what restitution means. That means you went to jail and you went to court and you got found guilty of something. But $250,000, $250,000, $250,000 in restitution. What have you done? Like, this got to be horrible. So he's like explaining why he needs the restitution, and he tells Jane Doe that he has to pay the restitution because him and his ex-girlfriend got in an argument. She was trying to leave and he wouldn't let her leave. And she called the police, and the judge just had it out for him, and the police was just hating on him, and he's a black man in America, and all these other excuses about why he has to pay this $250,000 restitution just because he wanted to have an innocent conversation with his girlfriend. Well, this is the age of social media, and if you're going to be broadcasting your business, you can't expect people not to reply, okay? Especially if they're directly involved, or especially if they know the truth, okay? So the gag is, there wasn't a simple conversation. This lady, his ex, jumped off a fourth floor balcony. Jumped from a fourth floor balcony because he would not let her out the house. Okay. In the result of her jumping, she broke her leg. I want to say she broke her neck, or no, something happened with her neck. She broke her leg. She had a bunch of other injuries. It was a lot of injuries. She had to relearn how to walk. She was out of commission for 4 months. It was crazy. Uncle Man, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me. It was crazy, right? It was crazy what happened. So you would think, as Jane Doe, and I'm gonna say this, okay? Jane Doe is older. Jane Doe just turned 50, as a matter of fact, okay? And Jane Doe has money. Jane Doe's alleged fiance, I don't know what their case is anymore. Oh, because a judge denied them their wedding. A judge actually told them that they could not get married. And I have never heard of anything like that, bro. I've never heard of a judge telling someone that they cannot get married. Okay, but apparently Jane Doe did not use her resources to find out the truth about this man, because during this whole time that he's engaged or dating Jane Doe, or even before that, he is running fictitious financial trading websites. He'll have a whole website promising all these great investments and great returns. In the meantime, he's stealing people's money. Okay. And one of the victims did an interview. So the person she was interviewing with was going up and down the guy's timeline to see, like, so one of his funds was supposed to pay out like the end of February of this year, and it didn't pay out. He had some excuse about why he couldn't pay the people. He told them he would pay them in May. But when you went to his Instagram, him and Jane Doe was in Paris. He was proposing to Jane Doe in Paris with a freaking boulder, okay? Because this is a rich woman. You're not just going to throw anything on her finger. With a boulder of an engagement ring, okay? While he's telling his investors that he can't give them the money that they're owed, right? To jump out of fourth floor to get away, it had to be bad. We're not just talking about, oh, I don't want to talk to you right now. A fourth floor window, that's some life or death situation right there. I'm not jumping out a fourth floor window for nothing. So yes, it had to be bad. And even with this, Jane Doe does not break up with him. Even through all this information is coming out, people are, going on YouTube, going on Instagram Live, just airing the man out. His baby mamas is airing him out about how he just been a thief and a liar all of his life. And Jane Doe doesn't leave. The judge says they can't get married because he owes so many people so much money. Like, he need to get that straight first. She does not leave him. And yes, you could look at this situation like, oh, she deserved it. That's what she did. How could she be so stupid? There was plenty of red flags. But let's take a step back, okay? And let's install a little bit of empathy. And let me just say this. It's easy for some of us to say what we would or wouldn't do because we just wouldn't be in those situations. Like, you just wouldn't be in those situations. I mean, think about where you are now. Okay, let's take where we are now. Okay, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck, month to month, whatever. Okay, so you come across a man who tells you that he has all these millions of dollars and y'all gonna be good, and he give you this and he give you that. You're gonna fall for it. What am I talking about? I live in Atlanta, home of the scammers, and nobody cares. These girls are proud to be dating scammers, and the scammers are proud to let you know they're a scammer. Like, it's a whole, you know what I'm saying? It's like a whole freaking workforce of scammers. Okay, but you gotta kind of blame yourself when you end up being victimized. I don't know why we seem to think that just because a person claims to like us or just because they claim to love us, lay down with us, whatever the case may be, that they're not going to display the same behavior toward us that they've displayed toward other people. He don't know you from a can of paint. He did not know you before the moment that y'all met. You could have been any other mark. For whatever reason, he just felt like dating you was the thing to do at the time, or whatever the case may be. For whatever reason, he decided to start dating you. And because you feel like he's feigned some kind of romantic interest, you let your guard down or whatever. And this goes beyond letting your guard down, because it's just outright denial of the facts. Okay. You know what I'll tell y'all? Once, okay. Twice, maybe, but more than 3 times we hearing this rumor about you. We got to do some investigating, especially if I'm talking about marrying you. And a lot of y'all might be like, oh, well, I'm not thinking about getting married. No, but you laying down with these men making babies. And then you want to cry about, oh, I'm a single mother. He just up and left me. He dogged me out. But you having baby number 7, 8, 9, and 10. No, ma'am. It shouldn't have been a surprise. There should not have been a surprise. Okay, the first baby mama, okay, you had no idea. You had no idea. You didn't know. We gonna excuse you. The second one, maybe. But once you get to baby number 3 and say, okay, girl, clearly this is a pattern. If he's, you know what I'm saying? If he, however he treats other people, is going to be how he treats you eventually. And I don't know why we don't understand this. A person's pattern of behavior is the best indicator of their future behavior. And I understand second chances. I know forgiveness and, repentance and stuff like that. But baby, you've got to have some actions behind that repentance. Show me your work and I'll show you if you really repented or not. Like, you're not just going to come up to me with this foot-long rap sheet and tell me, oh yeah, don't worry about none of that, girl. I ain't doing none of that no more. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? But this is how we end up being victims in relationships, ignoring the red flags, okay? Let's take another Jane Doe in this situation here. Did I put water in here? I don't remember. Let's take another Jane Doe. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. I'm sorry, y'all. I meant to get this together. I ain't got no ice in here. Help me. But I do have strawberries. Yo, fresh fruit, frozen fruit, whatever. Drop some in your water. And I'm telling you, like, it'll make you drink more water. Like, I love strawberries and water. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay. Had to take a little sippy sip. All right, so let's take another Jane Doe, okay? Now, this Jane Doe met a man, started dating him, whatever. There's drama from the beginning. There's issues from the beginning. There's disrespect from the beginning. And see, in the cases of the 2 Jane Does that we're talking about, they were at a higher level of success and notoriety than the men that they attached themselves to. And I know, it's been a complaint like, Black women won't give a man a chance. You got to have this, and this. But when I look at these situations occurring, I feel totally justified in offering that advice. Because look at what happens when you as a woman get with a man who's not on your level. I just have to be honest with y'all. It's not about anybody being better than anyone else, okay? Where anyone is only the sum total of the decisions that they've made, okay? Whether you're working at McDonald's, Burger King, Apple, IBM, Amazon, whatever, that is the sum total of the decisions that you made, and that is why you are where you are today. Cool with that. However, let's not complicate situations by refusing to acknowledge some time-proven truths. And listen, I know somebody's going to say, well, I know a woman who did this and, her husband was a garbage man and she was a lawyer and they worked out. Listen, I'm not saying it can't work out. What I'm saying is I would not advise. And I did not when I got married, as my husband so wonderfully reminded y'all in the chat. I did not follow that line of thinking. You know how they say, never get with a guy who's been after you for a long time? It's because when someone holds you in a certain regard, when someone has been, just fantasizing about you, lusting after you, just wanting you, they are obsessed with the idea of you. They like the hints of you that they get. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the little bit of you that they have is what they like. But once they get the whole you, it's never going to match up to the fantasy that they built in their head this whole time, first of all. Secondly, once they finally get you, it's going to be super creepy, super possessive, potentially abusive, Because just like the man who's not as successful as you are, he's going to feel like he has to prove himself to you after he done sweated you and chased you and you done probably rejected him and hi baby, you done probably rejected him and told him no and all this other stuff. Oh, thank you. Who told you to bring this? You just knew to bring it. Thank you. Come on, say hi to say hi, Atticus. Oh, he did. Oh, thank you, boo. Okay, go jump in the shower so you can come back down when it's time. As you steal my water. Really, Atticus? Thank you for the ice in the water, baby. Leave that alone. Go on and shower. Thank you. Put the puppy in the cage while y'all get in the shower. Come close the door, please. Paxton's still in the shower. Okay, you get in the shower in my room. Love you. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, so the man that's wanted you forever, just like the guy who's not as successful as you, is always going to feel like he has something to prove. He's always going to be easily triggered. He's going to remember, like, dang, do she even really want me? Because, I kind of had to beg her and, I did this for her and that for her. And she's still treating me like such and such and such and such. Walk away. Leave it alone. This is how you end up being a victim, again, by not watching the red flags that are very obvious in the beginning. This is why there's a process when it comes to dating. This is why you're supposed to take them around your family and friends so other people can sniff out the things that you may not be able to see because you're too close to the scenery. And, I tell y'all, like, know what kind of life you want and pursue that life. I'm not sure why you would get with someone who is not on a trajectory that you want to be on. Okay? You want to travel, you want to see the world, you want to explore new cultures, but your man is happy never having left the west side of Atlanta. Like, there's two different things. You understand what I'm saying? Why would you do that to yourself? All you're doing is setting yourself up for more problems, issues. Oh, there it is. And situations. Did Ada just take credit for the ice I had sent? No, he said you told him to do it. He did at first, but then he said you told him to do it. Okay. You're setting yourself up for failure in these situations. Like I get it at the time. You're thinking like, oh, it'll work out. But listen to the people around you. Like, what are they telling you? Are they telling you, oh yeah, it'll work out. Go ahead, girl, take a chance. No, if they love you, they won't be telling you that. Okay, so pay attention to that. Okay, so let's get to the last Jane Doe. Jane Doe gets in a relationship. It's horrible from the beginning. Okay. It's so bad that the boyfriend cheats on her and the girl that he cheated with gets on Instagram Live and tells the world, your man was with me eating my booty and all this other stuff. I mean, just graphic, right? In front of everybody. Well, Jane Doe still turns around and marries this man. And less than 90 days later, there's a divorce. But before there's a divorce, it's his birthday. So he's having a really lavish party, right? He know Jane Doe got money. Jane Doe like to ball out. Jane Doe like to buy gifts, right? So he tells Jane Doe, hey, come with me to my birthday party. I want to be with you for my birthday. Jane Doe shows up at the birthday party with the big lavish gift that she's known for. They go to Turks and Caicos, and while they are in Turks and Caicos, she gets an email letting her know that a divorce has been filed for and is about to be finalized. Could you imagine? Like, here I am thinking, you know what I'm saying? Here she is thinking like, oh, we about to kick it and, on this romantic little island, have a nice little romantic trip, me and my man. And he's the one that filed for the divorce. It's not that he didn't know. No, he knew the whole time what was going on. he went and filed for the divorce and still turned around and asked you to come to his birthday party and go on this trip with him. And then on top of that, after you find out about the divorce and you're like storming off the island or whatever, turns around and uses your credit card to take another woman to a hotel. How much sympathy, empathy, benefit of the doubt do you want people to give you? How much? And let me say this. In this last situation, it appears that there is a lot of mental manipulation going on by the man, because Jane Doe has been known for a tumultuous relationship history. This is her third marriage and third divorce. Okay. So she's known for her tumultuous relationship history. She's had a series of other issues. So it seems from an outside point of view that this guy was looking for a victim. He found the perfect victim. She's wealthy. She has everything, and I can get her. And so he did. And now what are people supposed, you know what I'm saying? What do you want us to do? What you want us to be mad at him? How you want us to be mad at him and you stayed? And this is what y'all gotta understand, okay? One time, yes, you're a victim. The first time, you are an absolute victim. This is crazy. Even if you ignored the red flags along the way, most people are going to give you a benefit of the doubt. Okay. Like, oh my gosh, poor baby. Yeah, absolutely. This guy is horrendous, blah, 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 blah. Okay, boo, but you went back for the abuse. You went back and signed up for it again. How much ignorance do you want the people around you to pretend to have in order to make you feel good about what you're going through, I guess? Sometimes we make ourselves a victim. Okay? And we have to start being honest with ourselves, ma'am, sis, cousin, about that. About when you put yourself in a position to be a victim, when you basically signed up for the abuse, or when you stayed and agreed to keep taking it, because that's what happens when you stay. You understand? Because when you get in an argument, right, y'all have to come to a resolution, y'all come to a compromise, and then you continue to move on. You typically do not move on until you've come to some kind of amicability. I'm not saying the argument is all the way totally resolved, but we've come to some kind of agreement, whether we agree to, talk about this later, let it play out, whatever the case may be. We come to some kind of agreement. And so now we can move on. So you basically got in agreement with the abuse you were receiving. And abuse is not just physical. It's mental, it's emotional, it's financial, it's spiritual, especially if somebody is lonely, they're dealing with some mental health issues, they're just going through a hard time in life, and you step in their life to take advantage of that. That's crazy. But ma'am, sis, cousin, you yourself know that you're going through some things in life, that you're having a tough time emotionally right now, that you really shouldn't be getting with anyone else. So, and like I always tell y'all, it's too late after the fact. Like we always want to talk about after the fact. Well, I'll do this and I'll do that and da 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 da. But okay, how's that gonna help you? Because like the lady that jumped off the 4th floor balcony, she got to live with that trauma. Yes, she took him to court, and yes, he has to pay her restitution. And I don't think it was $250,000. I think it was more like $12,000. I was listening to a lawyer break it down on YouTube. She's like, no, $250,000 for that. For it basically boils down to a domestic violence incident. She's like, no, that's crazy. Okay. So you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, she got paid or whatever, but her mind is forever changed. Like, you know how they talk about things that happen in your life that alter your brain chemistry? This would definitely be one of those situations, because how are you ever going to trust anybody again? And I can speak from personal experience being in an abusive relationship in the past. Like, oh, baby, listen, my husband had the hardest time when we got together because the slightest raise of his voice and I totally shut down. And, y'all might be like, well, didn't you deal with that when y'all was dating? No, we didn't deal with that when we was dating because we never argued when we was dating. Like, we didn't really get into it like that. I don't think. I'm sure. Listen, y'all know my husband gonna tell it in the chat. But, like, we just didn't. We were dating. It was fun. Like, what do we have to argue about? You know what I'm saying? Like, he wanted me. I wanted him. So you know what I'm saying? So we didn't go through that when we were dating. When we got married, that's when we had to deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? And so as happens when you get into some kind of heated discussions, yes, voices raised, okay? And just because the other voice has a lot more bass than yours doesn't mean that they don't have a right to their feelings and emotions as well, okay? Now, I am not saying that a man should not have more control over his I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like the man should have more control over his emotions in a relationship. Okay, he's the man. He's supposed to be the stability. He's supposed to be the rock. Okay, no, that is not an excuse for you women to go crazy. That is not an excuse for you to do whatever and then look at him and say, "Oh, well, you supposed to be the stable one." So that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is, in instances of confrontation, but sometimes, again, ma'am's his cousin. No one's perfect, okay? We have to extend the same grace to our men that we want for ourselves. So if he is having a moment, then you get up and walk away. What you don't do is you don't sit there and keep pushing his buttons and elevating the situation, okay? Something my husband had to tell me when we first got married. If I come at him with that same masculine energy, what do I expect him to do with that? Because you understand, like when you're into it, like the tone that a person it carries more than who that person is. This is why we fall out a lot of times about behind how people talk to us in arguments. Because it's like, well, dang, you ain't gotta yell at me. You don't have to talk to me like that. Da 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 da. Okay, so sometimes you got to take the mature role and be like, you know what? Let's just walk away and then we'll come back later. Okay, but what you don't do is you don't sit there and elevate it. And I know I'm not supposed to say this, make yourself a victim. I know y'all supposed to say, we're all grown. No one has a reason to put their hands on anyone. You're absolutely right. No one has a reason to put their hands on anyone else. However, Mams's cousin, we all know how to push a man's buttons. You know how to push that man's buttons. You know how to set him off. You see it when he's getting angry. Some of y'all will stop them when they're trying to walk away from you out of restraint. You'll stop them and you'll keep antagonizing them and egging them on. Even after this man has told you, get out my face. Please move out my way. Can we talk about this later? I don't want to deal with this right now. Let's do it later. You will keep egging him on. And then when you are getting knocked in the chin, now you want to call the police and he's the bad guy, but tell the whole story, boo. And this is the part. We never want to tell the whole story. We only want to tell the part that makes us look like the victim. Well, he hit me. Okay, what happened before that? This is first time hitting? What happened before that? Is he a known woman beater? What happened before that? You understand what I'm saying? Like, no. You're not just going to keep putting yourself in these situations and expecting people to come to their rescue. Nobody has time to be losing their life, their time. Nobody has time to be going to jail, paying. Nobody has time to be doing all this when you purposely keep putting yourself in these situations. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about that because, like, dang, it was like thing after thing after thing today. Like almost everywhere I turned looking for stories, it was stories of a woman being scammed by a man who had less than her to begin with. And again, we live in a society where you're just not supposed to say certain things and everybody's supposed to be equal and it shouldn't be about this and it shouldn't be about that. But when are we going to stop ignoring time proven truths? Like, when are we going to stop ignoring that? You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, y'all. I'm using this new mouse. So I'll be having to look for the arrow. I'll be having to look for the arrow. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. If you like what we got going on or you would like to support what we have going on here, please head over to the Cash App, $ the House of Mono, where a dollar or two will do. I just realized, like, I messed up my whole beginning flow. I ain't do no introductions. I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, I didn't talk about anything. I am so sorry. So sorry. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So I know y'all heard about that Chase Bank thing. I know y'all heard about it. All right. So here's the thing. There was an issue at Chase Bank where, so usually I've banked with Chase before. So usually if you deposit a check with Chase, after you've had your account with them for a while, if you deposit a check and you have that amount in the checking account, they'll release the check that day, right? If it's more than you have in your checking account, then sometimes they'll do like a partial release or they'll just release it at a later date, whatever the case may be. Well, for some reason, there was a glitch or whatever, and the ATMs were cashing checks the same day. So you go slide a check in the ATM machine, it would give you the cash right away. I heard up to $40,000 at one time the ATM machine was spitting out. Okay. And once people found out about this glitch, they were taking their own checks. Yes, you heard me right. Their own checks from their own checking account, writing it out, taking it to the ATM machine and taking the money out. Okay. At this point, we're talking about millions of dollars, not just from one person, but collectively, we're talking about millions of dollars here that has been taken, fraudulently. And I don't know if y'all remember I remember hearing about it when it happened. And people were, of course, going crazy on social media or whatever. I never had an interest in this. Never at all. Like, nothing in me was like, ooh, let me go, pass off a fake check at Chase Bank. Never. Why? Because first of all, I'm not crazy. Okay. Nor am I dumb. All right. Secondly, I don't look good in orange and I take way too many showers to go to jail. Okay. The water don't get hot enough. I mean, listen, I've become accustomed to living a certain way and jail is no part of that. No part of that. I mean, they don't even have carpet floors in jail. Like, I'm not going to jail. Okay. So whatever. So fast forward to, what's today? Thursday. When did this happen? Tuesday? It had to be Tuesday because Monday was a holiday. Fast forward to Tuesday, and apparently, they've got all the records of everything. Like, apparently they fixed the glitch. They got all the records, and now people are waking up and their checking accounts are in the negative of tens of thousands of dollars in the negative. And then they had the audacity to call Chase and say, like, hey, all this money is missing from my account and I don't know why. You don't remember you stole this money? But anyway, so now, you're talking about federal fraud charges and whatever other methods Chase Bank wants to use to get their money back. Okay. But there's a little something called check systems. It's a lot like the credit bureau, but check systems, is the banking credit system. So back in the day, back in the day when we used to write paper checks all the time, when they would scan your check, they were running it through check systems to make sure the check was legit, make sure you didn't have like a history of bounced checks or whatever. Okay. So, but now these people have these bank accounts with these negatives of tens of thousands of dollars being reported to check systems. So it's not like you can now go and get another bank account somewhere else. You cannot. You can't go to Bank of America. You're not going to Navy Federal. You're not going to USAA. You're definitely not going to USAA with that mess, or Navy Federal. They ain't playing that at all. You're not going anywhere, buddy. Like, you better hope Chime or Cash App will accept you. Because once you mess up on check systems, that's it. It's just like a credit report. It's going to follow you around forever. And I don't think you can file bankruptcy and get rid of check systems. And you definitely cannot file bankruptcy to dismiss criminal restitution. Okay. And now, mind you, if you scroll TikTok, there are videos of people dancing around with all this money, waving they chase bank cards like, ooh, they got it all. And this was something I've never understood. Okay. Not that I ever would, but if for some reason I was ever to work up the gall, nerve, and audacity to commit some type of financial crime, I need y'all to understand that I wouldn't tell nobody that I committed a financial crime, but there would definitely be signs. And one of those signs would be the fact that y'all would not see me no more. That would be sign numero uno. Like, you just wouldn't see me no more. I would leave. I would, here's what I would do. I would make sure that I had enough money to leave. If I'm gonna steal money, I'm gonna steal enough to keep me for a very long time. So I can go on the run and I can not have to worry about, exposing myself. I don't have to worry about exposing myself trying to get a job or anything like that. I don't understand why people only steal a little bit of money. I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand. If you're going to steal 40,000, if you're going to steal 40,000, why not go for like 140,000? Like, why not try to get enough money so you don't ever have to worry about money again, especially knowing that this is a crime you're committing, like knowing that you're setting yourself up for federal fraud charges. Federal fraud charges. I was talking to my husband about something. Or was it my dad? I think I was talking to my dad. And he was like, well, when people commit crimes, they don't really think it through. And I don't understand how. Like, in the age of TVs and movies and all, how do you brace yourself to commit a crime and don't consider what happens after you get caught? I don't know. But anyway, if it's your friends, your family, or whatever that's caught up in this, I'm so sorry. Y'all better go ahead and start a bake sale, yard sale, take some clothes to Play-Dohs, whatever y'all got to do. Because I'm going to tell you right now, don't you put up no GoFundMe asking people to donate to you so you could pay your legal fees from where you decided that you was going to rob the bank. Because that's literally what it is, like indirect bank robbery. Like, no, you didn't go in there with a gun and hold anybody up. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely robbed those people when you, y'all see what Atticus bought me? It's so cute, my baby. You definitely knew you was robbing them people when you cashed them checks and you knew the money wasn't there. Okay, so no, we're not doing that. No bank robbery. Stop with the mess, okay? All right, so let's see. All right, let's go to our main topic because that covered all of our side stories. So let's head over to our main topic, sex, lies, and videotape, okay? And again, like I said before, this is like a really popular title in the 90s whenever we was about to watch something scandalous or whatever. Boom, sex, lies, and videotape, right? So let's get into it, okay? Let's talk about the sex. Let's talk about the sex because a lot of y'all are out here having the sex illegally. not prepared for the consequences. And for those of you who may be new here, when I say illegally, I'm talking about sex without marriage. Okay, here at Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass, we believe what the Bible says, and that sex is for the confinements of a committed marriage. Okay, and a lot of y'all are out here having sex without marriage, without commitment, without a dinner date, without anything at all. And it's leading y'all down a path to hell. Okay. We are at a point in time in our lives where I don't know if y'all are paying attention to this political campaign, but almost every time I tune into a news story or every time I run across a commercial that has anything to do with this current election season, there are two issues that are always right there at the top of the commercial. It's going to be about abortion, and it's going to be about the alphabet community. For some reason, these are the two main issues that people are dealing with right now. Okay? We have come to a point in time where people will vote for someone just because they promise to allow them to abort babies that they don't want. Think about that. Never mind what else this person stands for. Never mind their proven track record. Okay. And I'm not calling any particular names here because I believe that both sides of our political system are working toward the same goal. They're just doing it in a different way. Okay. They're both moving in the same direction. They're just using different words and phrases to get there. All right. So that's why I'm not saying anybody's name in particular. Okay. So, but the fact that I'm not even going to blame one person. The fact that this American political machine has been running for as long as it has, let's even give it a little slack. The fact that the civil rights movement supposedly ended when it did, and there was a bill passed, and blah blah blah, and this and this and that, and we as Black people still find ourselves, Black people or Israelites still find ourselves literally in the same social, financial, economic conditions that we have been in a long time. And as a matter of fact, even worse, we're worse off now than we were when the civil rights bill was passed as a people. And that you can Google that. Google is free. It will tell you statistically we are worse off. We have more single family homes. Single parent homes. We have more drug use in our community. Our men are in jail at alarming rates. I mean, we as a people are just flat on our faces right now. And it's like, for some reason, in order to appeal to us, politicians feel like they just literally have to appeal to the least of us, to the lowest common denominator of us. Why isn't the conversation toward Black? And look, I'm going off on something else, but this does have to do with sex, because if it wasn't for illegal sex, you wouldn't need abortions. And what I don't like when people who needed them for health reasons are lumped in with people who just choose to get them. Shout out to everybody on my TikTok. Like and share. Jump in the conversations. I am reading your comments, so jump in the conversation whenever you're ready. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. If you're on the YouTube, you can head over to YouTube at Monologue Magad, MONOLOGMAGAD, or you can stay here and kick it, whatever. So if it wasn't for the fact that we were out here, okay, so no, I was saying I don't like the fact that medically necessary to save the mother's life procedures are being lumped in with women who just decide that they don't want to take care of their responsibilities, because that's what abortion basically comes down to. That's what it comes down to. I got myself in this situation, and now I don't want to take care of it, and I don't mind committing murder to get out of it. And I'm not supposed to say that abortion is murder, but abortion is murder. It's murder. It's a heartbeat. There is a heart beating. Why do you feel differently from stopping a heart beating inside of your womb than you feel from stopping a heart beating outside of your womb? Is it because nobody else knew and so you can hide your crime if you want to? So that's why you feel like it's not as important? I'm not sure. It's not making any sense to me. But again, I'm insulted. If I was a voter, I would be insulted that the platform that is being used to reach me is one of degradation and debauchery. No one has talked about rebuilding the American family because, heck, we can't even decide on proper genders. So how are we going to talk about rebuilding a family? We can't decide who is who and what is what. We've resorted to calling women who give birth birthing people instead of women. Birthing people? Don't you dare refer to me as a birthing person. I'm a woman. I'm a mother. But we live in a day and time where men can have babies too now. So we can't just say women or mothers. We have to say birthing people because lo and behold, the fathers can give birth now too. The lies. The lies we tell ourselves. The lies we tell each other. The lies you tell yourself to comfort yourself at night about the things that you're doing, about this sex that you're having that you know you shouldn't be having. The lies that you tell yourself about the condition of the person that you're doing these things with, or the lies that you tell yourself about your own condition. Like, share it alive, you guys. The lies that you tell yourself about your own condition. Okay, that's where a lot of our problems come from. We don't want to be honest about who we are, about our issues, about the things that we deal with. And so instead of us, bringing these issues to the forefront, we'll lie about them and, try to hide them away some kind of way from the person that we're dating. Why? One thing I must say, and look, when people ask me for advice, the first thing I'm going to say is be brutally honest. Be brutally honest no matter what. If they don't like it, they just don't like it. But they'll never be able to call you a liar and they'll never say that they didn't know. And listen, if you are not comfortable enough with that person, because you might be like, oh, I just met him, I don't want to let him know that. Ma'am, sis, cousin, I don't like to play games with people. I've never been that type, okay? And even when I was a single mom out here dating, I'd never hid the fact that I had 3 kids. And like, as soon as you met me, you was gonna know about my kids because I refuse to do that. I know a woman who got married, had a son, got married, but the guy she was marrying did not know she had a kid. The kid was living with her mother. The son was living with her mother. Okay. So he married her and they carried on that whole thing. And he didn't find out about the son until after they got married. Can you imagine someone dating you? You propose to them, you go through the whole rigmarole, and then you find out this person has a child? That's crazy. Look, I would have left. I would have left. Because if you'll lie to me about a child, what else would you lie about? And see, this is what we don't understand either. When we tell the lies and or when we hear the lies, you don't think about the fact that lying is a habit. It's a habit. A person who lies good enough to fool you for a substantial amount of time. And I know some of y'all might be like, well, some of these women out here is a little slow. Touche. But it's not always that the woman was slow. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's some grade A liars out here. I was studying a book on the Jesuits. And if y'all don't know, the Jesuits is like the military arm of the Catholic Church. Like, they're the black ninjas of the Catholic Church, okay? And they get into a lot of legal situations because of their line of work. But one of their principles is, as long as I don't lie to myself. So if the police were asking them, did you rob this bank? They'll tell the police no. But inside, they're saying, no, I did not rob the bank when you said I did. Or, no, I didn't do it like that. Like, there's some nuance of detail that they will tell themselves so that they are not lying. If you understand what I'm saying? It's like if I ask you, did you go to the store on Tuesday? And you're going to tell me, no, I didn't go to the store on Tuesday. But inside, you're like, I went to the store on Wednesday. Instead of just telling me the truth. It's little stuff like this. And, you might be like, oh, well, they do that. I don't do that to myself. But stop and think about it. Do you lie to yourself? Do you lie to yourself? Are you honest about who you are, what you want, where you want to go, and what you're willing to put up with? And if you want to know if you're lying to yourself, look at your current situation. Are you happy where you are? Are you content? Okay, because happiness is fleeting. It comes and goes. Are you content? Are you satisfied? If you did not get another thing and you just had the people and the things in your life that you have right now, are you content? And don't answer me. Answer yourself. Take some time and think about it if you have to. And just because you have a bad day or you have a bad few weeks or you have a bad month or you might feel like you're depressed, it doesn't mean that you're not content. Ma'am, sis, cousin, the kind of emotional roller coaster we go through every month. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't take one day or don't take one, you know what I mean? Like, don't take a couple of moments and let it determine whether or not you're content with your life. I mean, really sit back and examine. And then also, I read this a while ago. If you think that you're depressed, take a look at the people around you first. Like, are you really sad, or are there people in your life who mean you no good and are not being a productive member of your life? What I mean by being a productive member, they're not helping you build, they're not growing you. Y'all are just there with each other. They're not doing anything. Okay, that is a unproductive person. And even worse than the unproductive person is the person that takes advantage of you and it is just there to leech off of you. Listen, you don't have to have stacks and stacks of cash for people to want to steal from you. You don't. You don't have to have a lot for people to want what you have. All you have to have is something. You don't even have to have more than the other person. It could just be something that you have that they want. Examine that. Ask yourself these questions. Look around. And then tell yourself the truth and be ready to move on with that truth. Okay, there's no point in you sitting there telling yourself the truth, not doing anything, just to beat yourself up about it, to make yourself even more defeated, deflated, and susceptible to another victim. Listen, while you're going on this truth-telling mission, this is not the time for you to be dating. It's not. It's not. You got to work on you. You gotta work on being able to be honest with you. You have to work on getting over your own shame and embarrassment because of what you've done by yourself before you can honestly and openly share that with anyone else. If I have a hard time even just talking about my past, with a close friend or you know what I'm saying? Like a confidant, how do you expect to be able to talk about that with someone new who's entering your life that you hope to play a substantial role? You can't. You won't. You can't bring yourself to say the truth. Yes, I'm a horrible person. I have a nasty attitude. My temper is short. I eat too much. I need to do better on my like, yes, I'm a liar. I'm a thief. I like to steal. I'm rebellious. I don't like to listen. I'm not cooperative. It's my way or the highway. I was watching this show. Me and my husband was watching this show called Love Off the Grid. If y'all haven't watched it, check it out. It's like a cute little show, whatever. But it's called Love Off the Grid, right? And so this one lady lives in, it's about people who, I mean, these people are literally off grid, okay? No running water, no electricity, hardly any cell phone service. I don't think I saw anybody with a TV. Did I? I don't remember. Okay. They're living off the land. They got animals. They're growing their own food. It's so bad. Like I said, they don't have no running water. Like they have to go to the nearest town to buy water and then bring it back. That's how bad it is. Or like this one family was trying to dig up a well, but they just couldn't find any water. Okay, so this lady lives, in some mountains, I think in the Carolinas or something like that. And she had asked the person she was interested in to come out there and stay with her. Like that's what the whole show was about. Like people were asking people who they were in love with or relationships with to come and live off grid with them to see how it would work out, to see how a city slicker adjusts to life off the grid. So, well, she has a person come and move in with her. And of course, it's a hard adjustment. I can't imagine like not being able to just get up and go to the bathroom. I happen to go outside and go to the bathroom because you don't have any running water, or not being able to take a shower whenever you want to, or having to get a bucket of water and like get cups of water and pour it on you. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's enough to stress me out. That would be enough to send me over the edge, and I wouldn't even go out there. Okay, but she's out there or whatever. And she has all these dogs, like 3 or 4 dogs, 3 or 4 cats. Like she has a lot of animals. And the lady's like, okay, these are my animals. I love my animals. They're a part of my life, whatever. But the gag is the animals run around outside. They get dirty. They, are everywhere. And then they come in the house and get in the bed. All right. And so the person she brought out there was like, listen, that's a little bit too much for me. Like, I can probably do with all this other stuff, but the freaking animals. And instead of her saying, you know what? I invited you here. I do love you. I'd like to have a relationship. So, let's find some way to compromise. She was just like, no, these are my animals and they're going to do what they want to do. It's almost like some of you all will refuse to make changes to accommodate another person as a way of keeping your guard up. I guess you feel like you want to test them, like, oh, if you really love me, you'll accept anything, anything from me, any kind of life from me, if you really love me. And I've told y'all before, there's no such thing as unconditional love. Never. It's never unconditional. There's always going to be conditions, unless it's a mother loving her child. A good mother. Let me clear that up, because in this day and time, but I love my children unconditionally. There's nothing they can do short of freaking blaspheming the Most High that's going to make me put them to the side, disown them, anything like that. I love them unconditionally. But you as an adult would be a little special to expect the same thing. I don't expect unconditional love from my husband. I don't. I know I got to hold up my end of the bargain. I got to stay a good wife. I got to keep myself looking nice. I got to keep it turned up in the bedroom. Like, there are things that I understand that are required in order to receive this love that I have been used to receiving. I don't know why anyone feels like anybody has to just accept them the way that they are and put up with them. Okay? And this is why I'm saying you need to be honest with yourself about that. Have your relationships been ending because you have just kept your guard up and you've been too stubborn to make room for another person who might want to be with you? Thank y'all for the hearts. Thank you, Cheryl, for the hearts. Thank you guys for the hearts. Share the live, please. Head on over to the YouTube at Monologue Magad, MONOLOGMAGAD. Are you ready for that kind of truth with yourself? Like, think about it. Think about your last relationship. Be honest. Are you ready to do an honest examination? If someone was to come to you today, an unbiased third party, and audit your relationship, what would they find? What would they find? Would they find that you are more than you are not the source of your own problem? Would they find that you are more than you are not at fault? Would they find that you might be the one that's delusional and ruin it? Would they find that? And do you find that about yourself? And if you do, that's okay. What's not okay is continuing to lie about it and continuing to be out here pursuing relationships, acting like nothing is wrong with you. It's like when Amazon tells you your package will be delivered tomorrow and you just, it's something you really wanted to. I'm trying to think when's the last time they did that to me. It's been a minute, but Amazon does. Oh, I know when they did it to me. When I was getting ready for freaking F3, and I had ordered some shoes that I wanted to wear. They're like, it'll be here tomorrow. It'll be here tomorrow. And I knew I was pushing it, but I don't pay for Amazon Prime for nothing. I pay for Amazon Prime so that I can procrastinate to the last minute. Okay. And that's just me telling y'all the truth. So Amazon's like, your shoes will be here tomorrow, be here tomorrow, be here tomorrow. The tomorrow when they were supposed to be here, then they hit me with they won't be here until the next day, but the next day was going to be too late for me. But that's how some of y'all do people in a relationship. Y'all do them like Amazon, like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm wonderful. I don't have any problems. Nothing wrong with me. And then at the last minute, like when a person is just in too deep or when they really start liking you, then you're like, psych, I'm a little crazy. I'm a little this, I'm a little twisted. I'm a little that. I just didn't tell you. And as much as we live in a society that likes to deny feelings, that likes to deny truths, you are really hurting yourself when you do this. You're hurting yourself. You're not just hurting the other person. You're hurting yourself in terms of your future relationships also, okay? Because now you're setting up a pattern of behavior. And one day, you might run across a really, really good one, like a great one. But you are so used to abusive, toxic, manipulative, false patterns of behavior that you don't know how to treat a person decently. You don't know how to be nice to someone. You don't know how to be a friend. You don't know how to be a partner. You don't know that because all you're used to doing is playing games, manipulating and doing things to get your way. You don't know how to reciprocate love. You don't know how to reciprocate like. You don't even know when someone really likes you because all you're used to doing is game playing and trying to get your way. Your motives are selfish. You're never interested in what anyone else thinks. You're only interested in you and what you feel. And so now when anyone with any kind of decency, any kind of empathy, love, sympathy, all the things that you want in a husband, whenever anybody comes with those things, you can't receive it. It's weird to you. Why is he so obsessed with me? What's wrong with him? Why does he care where I am all the time? Why does he always want to be with me? Because he like you, dummy. He likes you. And instead of you realizing like, he really likes me. Why is he sweating me? Da, da, da. And then you get on the phone and you're chasing and texting a dude who could give less than two hoots about you. You'll leave the guy who texts you every day on red to text the one that's not thinking about you. The one that you always have to text first. You need to ask yourself, why is it that you seem to go after people who are not emotionally available? You need to ask yourself that question. You need to really sit down and examine that. Like, what is going on with me that I am only attracted to people who are not attracted to me, who can't give me what I need? Why don't you feel like you deserve more? And I know we don't like to hear this talk, right? This, you have to love yourself first and all this other stuff. But honey, it's true. It is true. Like, it wasn't until I decided that I wasn't settling for less than I ultimately wanted that I zoned in on my husband. I just came back to Atlanta from Jersey. I was actually seeing someone else. It wasn't nothing serious. We went on a couple little dates or whatever. Excuse me. We went on a couple little dates or whatever. And then my husband came along. The other person that I was seeing was not husband material. He was not anything that I would be interested in marrying. Okay. Was it fun? Sure, it was fun. Because it's nothing serious. It's always fun, right? Sure, it's fun. But this can't be my future. Like, I can't do nothing with this. He's not going anywhere. He's not doing anything with his life. Why would I settle for that? That's not what I want out of life. I know how I want my life to look. And this person is not going to help me get to that point. I knew what I wasn't going to tolerate anymore. I'm not interested in playing games. So there's no reason for me to keep this person around. Like, once me and my husband decided we was locked in, then okay. I don't have no reason to talk to nobody else. For what? I knew what I wanted and I had what I wanted in front of me. But if you don't know what you want, and again, you can't know what you want if you won't be honest with yourself. But if you don't know what you want, then you're never going to make that decision. You're always going to be going back and forth because one day you want this. One day you like the thrill of the chase. One day you like running the streets. You like partying. You like being turned up. You like being this, and that, and that, and that. You want to be a baddie, blah, 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 blah. And then the next day you want to be a housewife. But the man that made you a hoe not going to make you a housewife. I know y'all don't like to hear that. I know y'all don't like to hear that. I know you don't like to hear that, but I got to be honest with you, babe. I got to be honest with you. Like, these men that you're running around with, you know, they pick you up, they have a good time. See, here's the thing. A lot of y'all don't even make them pick you up and take you nowhere. A lot of y'all just let them pull up to the crib with a bottle and some lemon pepper wings from American Deli, and that's good enough for you. And next thing you know, you're in love and everything else. Is that all you want out of life? Dudes pulling up with bottles? Because if that's what you'll accept, then that's all you're going to get. And a lot of y'all don't even give these dudes a chance to prove themselves, because the first thing they say, you go with it. It got to be a test. There has to be a test. He got to try you. He got to know. And I'm going to say, from my understanding of males and what I've been told, they're only going to do what you require them to do before you give them what they want. Like, if I pick up the phone, okay, listen. If I'm at Macy's and I see a bag that I want at Macy's, I'm only paying what's on the price tag. I'm not offering them another cent. No, I'm not paying more than I have to get this thing that I want. And so you need to understand that it's the same way with your body. When he calls you and he says, oh, you know, let me pull up, let's watch a movie or whatever. And you, okay. He got it right. He got it. I ain't got to do nothing else. I ain't got to do nothing else. I'm going to the house. And then look, y'all don't even y'all don't even make them bring you food. Y'all be sitting there like, dummy, I'll cook for you. Yeah, pull up. I'll cook for you. Talk about, oh, I can't wait to cook for him. Yep, this gonna make him fall in love with me and want to wife me. Absolutely not. Now he just know where he can go get some coochie and a free meal. And a free meal. You've literally become a coochie and food bank. Why are you okay with that? Why are you okay with being just that? And, I know some of y'all are going to say, well, the guys that I like aren't the guys that like me. Why don't you like the guys that like you? Why don't you? And I had someone tell me, oh, that sounds manipulative or whatever. But as a woman, as a woman, as a woman who's never interested in initiating or pursuing a relationship, I'm not asking no man to take me on no date. I'm definitely not asking no man to marry me. So as the kind of woman who knows what I'm worth and what I expect from a man, I'm not taking that crap. I'm not doing it. Sir, if you want me, you will come and get me. And if a man likes you, that's the only way he's coming to get you. He's got to like you enough. And hear what I'm saying. It's not just a little, like we kick it, we text, whatever. But no, he got to like you enough to take you seriously and to want you in his life that much. Y'all will turn around and sleep with the man that you like, but not the man that likes you. And I've heard so many times it's because, oh, his weight, oh, the way he dressed, I don't like his car, I don't like this. The things that stop you from liking the man that likes you usually be superficial stuff that you can change. He weigh too much, get him in a gym. You don't like his clothes, get some money from him and buy him some more clothes. You don't like his car, come up with a plan, boo. We're going to set this much aside every month, and then in this many months, we'll be able to get a new car. Like, the things that stop you from liking the men that like you are stupid, superficial things that if you would just acknowledge the truth, you could help him fix that. You could help him fix it. But you'd rather chase after a dude who apparently has what everyone else wants for some reason, or you want to chase after what's flashy. I heard a long time ago, nobody wants somebody that nobody else wants. And I'm not saying that that's not true. Like, I don't want to wake up next to a booger wolf either. Okay. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Okay. But why don't you like the man that likes you? I want y'all to really think about that, because I've witnessed this too many times. A man will love a woman like, oh gosh, I know this one guy kissed the ground this woman walked on, so much so that he would just hand her he handed her a credit card. Use it for whatever you want for you and your son. Don't worry about it. Paid for her to get a degree. Twice paid for her to get a degree. And when she came to me and she talked about it, I was like, what is wrong with you? Okay, he fat, take him to the gym. You don't like his dreads, tell him to do something with it. Fade the sides, cut it off, whatever. He likes you enough. He will change for you. It's not an internal issue you have. You don't have an issue with how he treats you, because he treats you so, like I said, he kissed the ground that you walk on. You can call him right now and ask him for anything, and he'll be there before you hang up the phone. You ask him to run by the taco truck and make you some tacos. That man love you enough that he will build a taco truck and make the tacos and send them to you, okay? So there's nothing internally wrong with him. You, on the other hand, your issues are in the your priorities are all in the wrong place. Your priorities are in the wrong place. Instead of the nice guy who works a 9 to 5, 10 to 6 or whatever, driving a nice little Honda Accord, you know what I'm saying? Whatever he got going on, you rather chase after the flashy drug dealer that's riding around in a freaking bright blue convertible. I'm just saying that because I saw a bright blue Corvette on 285 the other day. But you'd rather, run around with him with the flashy convertible because what? Why do you want to put yourself in a position where you have to compete for a man's attention when there's a man that's willing and able to give you all of his undivided attention? Why would you do that to yourself? This is stuff y'all need to think about. Be truthful with yourself. This is that self-reflection time. This is that time to sit down and figure out, like, okay, what's going on with me? What do I really want? What do I really want? Do I know what I really want? What do I really want? Again, if you won't be honest with yourself, you're going to keep lying to yourself. Okay. And let's get to the videotape. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. So you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. Thank you to everybody that's joining me on TikTok. Yes, I'm live on TikTok, y'all. The videotapes. You do know that whatever you put on social media will last forever, okay? You do understand this, right? Before there was social media, there was VCR, videotape, and camcorders. And some of you all may be too young to remember what VCRs, videotapes, and camcorders are, but this was social media before social media. In the 90s, the most infamous sex tape ever released was the Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee sex tape. And it was a big thing. And even though these people were married, like they were married when they made that tape. Even though it was a big thing, right? They're having sex on tape. Ooh, and Pamela Anderson was just like, ooh, every man's dream, okay? But to this day, that tape is still talked about. To this day, that tape is still circulating. You know who else has a tape that's still circulating? Kim Kardashian. Her sex tape with Ray J that took her to the next level, still circulating. And I think it's pretty evident that a lot of women now, matter of fact, it's just like a template now on how to achieve fame and stardom. You get naked on camera, you have sex on camera, you let someone record you, or matter of fact, you record yourself naked on camera. I don't know what you're thinking in your head when you feel like that this is a good idea. Okay? Because again, social media never goes away. It never goes away. And I always was of the thought, what if I'm dating the president one day? Like, what if I'm dating somebody important? I would never want that coming up. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen someone's career be ruined by their partner's behavior, but I would never want to be like responsible for demoralizing or tarnishing the reputation of someone that I was with, or even my own reputation. Like, what if I want to be the president one day? What if I want to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I know I'm going to be somebody's wife one day. I don't want my husband to stumble across a tape of me with another man as he's innocently scrolling Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Like, I just don't want that. And I don't understand, I think part of it is this I don't need no man culture, and there's no looking toward the future these days. There's not. It's almost like as they are erasing history, they are erasing our ability to think about the future in terms of family. The only future you're supposed to be thinking about right now is your financial one. And a lot of us have fallen for this. A lot of us have fallen for the I don't need a man. All I need is my money line. There are people that will tell you, "Oh, I'm happy alone. I'm happy alone. I'm happy alone." And don't get me wrong, I love my alone time. Like, I love my alone time. I like to be alone. If we're, when me and my husband go on, let me say I like to be with my husband. Okay. I like to have my alone time. And then my next favorite person is my husband. I'm never gonna be the one that's like, "Ooh, let's throw a party. Let's invite a bunch of people. No, that's never me." Like, I'm not a large crowd person, okay? And that might be another reason why I don't have friends, because I'm just not that person. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if I have my one friend, I just like to have my one friend. I don't want to. I'm just not a large group person. Okay. Um, and with even though, like, yes, I do like to spend time alone, I don't want to spend my whole life alone. Like, no. Like, I just need a few moments here and there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just might need an hour or two here and there. But my whole life alone? No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to spend my whole life alone. Okay, and this is what we have to understand. I think that sometimes, especially now, um, we take the attitude from our 20s of, I can be alone, I don't need nobody, I'm strong and I'm independent. We take that attitude and act like it's gonna sustain us for the rest of our life. But the fact of the matter is, no one knows the future. No one knows the future. And I hate that there are women who are in positions of authority, who are maybe famous, like Ebony K. Williams. I'm trying to think of anybody else recently who's done this. But these women have spent their lives focusing on a career, right? Focusing on their financial future and not their emotional, spiritual future, that they just totally iced out men to the point where now you can't even find a man to marry and have a baby with. You got to go out here and pay for sperm. That's wild to me. Never had to pay for it. No woman should have to pay for it. I mean, that's just crazy. But you neglected the men around you this whole time. Like, you just totally ignored everyone around you. Your friends got married. That wasn't a sign to you. And, don't pressure people to get married. Well, I am going to pressure people to get married. One, because this is the Most High's formula for repopulating humanity, for keeping humanity going. This was his formula. Find a wife, start a family, have some babies. That's the Most High. There's no other way to keep humanity going. Not in a healthy direction. You don't believe me? Look at all the complaints about single parent households right now today. Look at all the complaints about single mothers today. How many problems in the Black community are blamed on single mothers? It's not a healthy, sustainable way to mature a society. Look at us. Look at us. Look at the condition we're in as a people. Always last, always at the bottom. Other races of people have figured out that one of the best ways to build wealth is through marriage. But we won't recognize that. And then when y'all do get married, y'all want to pity pat and play. A lot of y'all just consider marriage like an extended overnight date. And after about 2 months, okay, I've had enough of you. You can go. Do you want to get married or do you just want a wedding? Do you want to get married or do you just want to be able to say that you got somebody? Do you really want to be married? Do you want to be a part of a healthy, cohesive family? And if your answer is no right now, depending on your age, I'm gonna need you to examine that, babe. Like if you're 25 and you still, I don't need no man. I don't need no man. Well, boo, are you batting for the other team? I got some questions. And you can't tell me that you don't need no man when you're still sleeping around. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. I'll only do it because I want to, even though it's tearing you up inside. Even though you lay awake at night wondering how come none of the men that you sleep with consider you good enough to be in a relationship, or why you don't consider yourself good enough to be in a relationship. Why do you feel like that you don't deserve the best that a man has to offer? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself why you're okay with constantly giving yourself away to randoms. And even you might be like, well, he's not random. We've been friends with benefits for a while. Why are you okay with being friends with benefits in the year 2024? Why are you okay with that? Why are you okay with settling for that? I don't even let randoms in my house. I hate trying on shoes after other people at the mall. Like, I hate trying on shoes at the mall. Like, I just want to take Lysol and spray it with them because other people's feet have been in here, and we all know that there's a certain segment of the population, okay, that don't wash their body. Don't wash their legs, don't wash below their stomach. So I know you ain't washing your feet. So you don't think you should care more about your body than you care about the shoes that you put on your feet? I know what y'all some of y'all about to say you don't care about the shoes you put on your feet. Lord have mercy. It's whatever you allow to be taped is going to last forever. Stop letting these men make sex tapes with you. Stop doing it. Stop getting naked. Stop sending nudes. Stop sending the freaking nudes. The nudes will last forever. You think you're the only one that's going to look at those? You think he's the only one that's going to look at those? You think he's not showing his friends? You think he's not showing the homies the nudes that you sent? What if one day you're, applying for a position, a high level position? There are certain positions like in government, and even like in some private agencies, depending on the contracting work that they do, that you have to have certain levels of security clearance for. Like with my mom's job, when they have to renew their security, she has to list all my information because I'm her daughter. So my name, my social security number, my birth date, where I live, my children, my husband, like my family has to be, my married family has to be listed on her security clearance. They want to know everything. They calling about your transcripts, elementary school, middle school, high school. They calling your parents. They're calling your friends. They are running an extensive background check. And if you have not realized it yet, the first line of any background check is going to be your social media. And if you think these people can't find you in other things, have you ever taken somebody's picture and went to put it on Facebook and Facebook tagged the picture for you? Have you ever been watching a TikTok and recognized somebody in the background of a TikTok? Come on, it's too easy these days. It's too easy. I know we all need to be allowed to make mistakes, and I praise the Most High that social media was not around in the time of my mistakes. I praise the Most High. So please understand, okay? I'm not trying to condemn or talk down on anyone ever, Okay. But I need y'all to really think about what you're doing out here. And the sad thing is, I'm not just talking to teenagers. I'm talking to 20, 30, and 40-year-old women as well, 50, 60, 70-year-olds, because some of this stuff that y'all be doing online is ridiculous. Ridiculous at your age. Some of y'all's old enough to be these kids' mamas, and you sitting up here competing with them online. Baby, I'm 43 years old. Okay, 43 years old. And don't get me wrong, like, I got it going on for a 43-year-old. But what the heck I look like out here competing with a bunch of 20-year-olds? I can't even stay awake that long. I'm ready to get into bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock. I mean, please. I'm not, that's not, you're not supposed to be competing with them. You're supposed to be setting an example for them. The older are supposed to be wiser. The younger are supposed to be stronger, but it's like you want to trade your wisdom in for a strength that you will never have again. You're never going to be young again. Okay. And I know you messed up a lot when you were young, and you just feel like if you just had a chance to do it over, then, it would be okay. And you can move on with the next part of your life. But the problem with that is, when you're trying to be 20 when you're 40, you miss all the beautiful stuff that's happening when you're 40. You miss the beauty of where you are when you're constantly trying to go back and fix your regrets, or, you know what I mean? Go back and fix things that you think are wrong. So again, in your moments of truth and honesty, I just want to encourage you guys. Be brutally honest with yourself. Pray to the Most High. Pray about it. Like your spirit is willing. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay. But let me turn that around, because yes, some of y'all spirit is willing and some of y'all flesh is strong. Really, Atticus? Some of y'all flesh is strong because that's what you feed more. You don't pick up your Bible. When's the last time you put on some gospel music? When's the last time you really sat down and prayed and just had an honest conversation with the Creator? When's the last time you fed your spirit? I know when you fed your flesh, when you're probably feeding your flesh as you're watching this, whatever's on the TV. And that's why you have such a hard time doing the things that you know that you should be doing. Fasting is not just for health, not just for your physical health. It's for your spiritual and your mental health as well. It's for your mental. I cannot begin to tell y'all, when I fast, my mind gets so clear. And it's literally like stuff that I should have been thinking about is now functioning again. So take some time out for consecration. Like we used to do this in church. They would call it consecration. It was a time of prayer and fasting, and you gave up certain foods, or you gave up food altogether. You gave up media, and you just focused on the things of God. When I was a teenager and we used to do these fasts, I would only watch Christian television, and I would only listen to gospel music. Because boy, I'm hot. So I encourage you to do that with yourself. Take some time, focus on the spiritual aspects of your life, focus on pleasing the Most High. As always, repent and turn from your sins. We can't do any of this if we're not willing to repent and acknowledge our sins and turn back to the Most High. Okay? Thank y'all so much for joining me. Say what's up to Paxton and Atticus, everybody. Do y'all want to say anything, guys? Do you want to tell everybody about your good review that you guys got for Top Tier Parties?
Thank you for reviewing our bounties. Thank you for liking them. We do as hard as we can.
You definitely do. So, the boys have started going with their dad to do bouncies now. I mean, he's pretty much got them trained up to where they can do the bouncy by themselves. Well, except for the driving part and the taking it off the truck. But as far as like setting it up once it's down on the ground, like they know how to do that by themselves. And they got a very good review this week. The lady was awesomely impressed and says she's going to be using you guys for her bouncy from now on. So all praise to the Most High for that. If you're in the Metro Atlanta area and you need a bouncy house, holla at us at Top Tier Parties. We're on Facebook. Matter of fact, we have a website now. Shout out to the for the website. Thank you guys for the follow. Thank you, Cheryl, for the follow. Thank you for all the likes.
Yes, thank you guys. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, we have a website, toptierparties.com, PARTYS.com. And we also have a website for the print doctors. Why would you do that? Because he was dabbing in your face. We also have a website for the print doctors, which is our custom screen printing company. So if you are in need of shirts, hit us up at theprintdoctors.com. You can also find our businesses on Facebook, Instagram, and Nextdoor. We are on the Nextdoor app as well. And we can't forget about Mono's Westside Bullies, ladies and gentlemen. Purveyors of your finest bullies. We just got a new one in. We just got a new puppy in, and she's a big timer because her parents are big timers. So you can see her on my TikTok. If you do not follow me on the socials of the medias, please follow me at Miss Mono's World, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Atticus, can you please stop dabbing? Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up what we got going on here at the House of Mono. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want the real tea, you'll follow me on TikTok. I don't put all the tea on Facebook, but TikTok, I be spilling it. So yeah, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the places where the content creators be. Y'all have anything else? If you like anything I said, whether you're listening live or on the replay, or you just want to support what we have going on here at the House of Mono, please feel free to hop over to the Cash App. $, the House of Mono, $1 or $2 will do. Shout out to my audience on Nasaya TV. Can't forget about you guys. If you do not have the Nasaya TV app on your smart TV, please go ahead and download that, or you can always watch online at Nasaya.tv. I am live every Thursday, but you can also go and watch past shows at the YouTube at Monologue Magad, MONOLOGMAGAD. Please make sure you go to the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube, like the YouTubes, share the YouTube, all that good stuff.
Mom, let me try and put this in your hair.
What?
Let me try and put this in your hair.
Can you? No, not right there.
Fine.
Here, let's put it up here. Let's do it like this, like that.
So weird.
Like that. Oh, so cute. Thank you, Atticus. He did. You know what? I love these magnolias. We have a tree, a magnolia tree in our front yard. He's always bringing me pretty flowers. So thank you, Adam. And thank you, Paxton.
I didn't do it.
I know, but you're just awesome. Thank you for coming down here. All right, you guys, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me this evening, whether you're watching live or on the replay or on the TikTok. I hope that something was said that is helpful to you. Again, as always, repent and turn from your sins. That is the only way out of despair, out of the muck and the mire, just out of the hole. Repent and turn from your sins. The Most High is the only one. Your Creator is the only one who can help you. So turn to Him, talk to Him, be honest with Him, and then be honest with yourself. All right. I love you so much. Oh, it's a ring. I love you guys so much. I will see you here. I will see you here on YouTube. Same black time, same black station, Thursdays, 8:00. Why Boaz don't want your ass? But listen, I'm on TikTok all the time. I'm start going live on there some more, and you know what I'm saying, just doing more of the things. So keep up with me, follow me, so you can stay abreast of everything that we got going on here at the House of Mono. And with what are you doing? And with why Boaz don't want your ass. What are you doing? Oh, okay. All right. I love you. Shalom and shalom and good night.
Mono.
Living super clean. Daddy came
One time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I
Tune
submit.
in to Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass with your host, Miss Mono.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono.
Every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. Live on YouTube at Miss Mono's World and Monologue Maga. Now also available on Nasaya TV on Roku and Fire Stick. Why Boaz